For knee flexors, the student will be at the client's feet. The leg that is being stretched will be on the student's shoulder. The stabilizing hand is above the knee of the opposite leg being stretched. The working hand is above the ankle, moving upwards into knee extension. For knee extensors, the student will start at the client's feet, standing on either side. The stabilizing hand is underneath the knee to the opposite leg. The working hand is above the ankle of the leg that's being stretched, pushing down into knee flexion. For the isolated hip flexor stretch, the student will be in between the client. The stabilizing hand is on the iliac crest. The working hand is above the knee, pushing down into hip extension. For the isolated hip adductor stretch, the student will be in between the client. The stabilizing hand is above the knee. The working hand is below the knee of the leg that's being stretched, pushing away from the midline into hip abduction. For the combined hip abductor adductor stretch, the stabilizing hand is around the client's shoulder underneath the hydrocollar. The working hand is underneath one knee. The student will lunge forward, moving the leg into abduction to stretch the adductors, shifting backwards to adduction to stretch the abductors. For the combined hip, knee, and spinal stretch, the student will be next to the client on either side. The stabilizing hand is around the client's shoulder underneath the hydrocollar. The working hand is underneath one knee. The student will lunge forward, abducting the client's leg in a circular motion and shifting back to starting position. When the client is moving away from the student, the holding leg will stretch knee and hip extensors, spinal rotators, and hip external rotators. The dragging leg will stretch hip flexors. Coming back to starting position, the holding leg will stretch hip internal rotators and the dragging leg will stretch hip adductors.